Hi, my name is Amber Jones. I am doing my last internship at the VA. I work in mental health and also with addictions. Um, Today is my last day. It is bittersweet. I'm an employee here, so it's not like I'm leaving too much. So it's not like I'm missing out on seeing the veterans. I'll still see them, so that is comforting. I have found it very challenging this semester with working full time at the VA and then also doing my internship and playing a couple different roles. Um, I serve different veterans at each of my roles, so it's not like it's a issue there. I've been really sick, and so that has been hard to get all my internship hours in, um, as well as just being keeping up to date with all my assignments. One of the things that is challenging that I found this semester more than um, other semesters is just kind of working with others that may be different, viewing different aspects of it. As we meet as like a treatment team, there has been some conflict of people not thinking it's in the best interest of the client, and some professional kind of arguments on what is best. But one thing that I keep in mind is, and that we all keep in mind is, we're here to serve the veterans, so it's really good to have other people's opinions. I might think that this is the best interest of the client and this is what we need to do and this is what we're going to do, and then having someone else's viewpoint coming in and looking at other things that I didn't bring into kind of gives me a perspective that I didn't view, and that's really, really helpful. I think working as a team is critical with our department and how we need to run things. With that being said, I'm used to running things by my clinical supervisor as well as part of our team. If I get a different position in the VA that doesn't have that team meeting, it will be different when I'm used to that. Even undergrad, I'm used to being a part of a treatment team. There's a lot of jobs in the VA that you're kind of on your own as a social worker. You're working in a different department that doesn't have that collaboration. So there are those jobs. One that I'm actually looking into. So that will be different and something that I need to transition to. But one of the biggest things is that even though I won't have that, team atmosphere as much as I would as a team meetings, I still have other social workers around me, things that I can bounce ideas off of. And sometimes it's better that they are not in the particular team because they'll have a completely different aspect and ideas that I haven't thought of. They're kind of, on the outside looking in, and that's very beneficial. So I think that my biggest thing that I got from an internship and just growing as a professional is working as a team and utilizing all of your resources. We talk about resources with our clients and we try to get them all the resources that we can for them, teach them skills that they can use on their own, and then sometimes we forget all our resources that we have to help our clients, which is the people around us, other social workers, doctors, just VA resources that we have. So sometimes we forget what ones we have. And so I think that's the biggest thing that I have learned during this whole thing. I know that we're supposed to go through the competencies, but I just felt like that is something that I learned. Professionalism, and ethics and principles, just all the competencies that we have as a social worker. I think I gained those really easy. I don't think there's been a whole lot of areas that I've struggled with just with being in the field for so long. One thing that I have learned a lot of, especially with being in the mental health, or not mental health, but just being in a hospital at the VA, is human rights and what those look like when they can't speak for themselves, and what part and when that comes in play. I think that's the biggest thing with working with dementia patients. It can be a struggle because sometimes in the morning they do fine and they can talk to me, and they I don't tell as much, and they can make those decisions, and then in the evening they're not engaged, and they really struggle at different times, and it can be opposites. They struggle in the morning and then don't at night. They're all different. Everyone's different. And so making sure that we are utilizing all our, communicating, when that is appropriate, and when someone can voice their concerns, and when a family member, whether this is a wife or a daughter, understanding when they're able to make those decisions for them. It can be sometimes really difficult in certain circumstances. I also work with hospice patients, so when they're declining, and I have nurses talk about family wants morphine, and they might necessarily think it's the best interest. So those are difficult conversations, and I feel like those are ones that I'm comfortable with having, and I'll just continue to grow. Super excited to graduate this weekend, and thanks for the opportunity.